You're listening to Brandon Sports Talk, interviewing professional athletes and Paralympians and Olympians. And now for your professional athlete interview and your host, Brandon P. Welcome back to Brandon Sports Talk. In today's episode, I have the privilege and honor of interviewing a former WNBA player, Allison Hightower. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. Can you talk about how you knew that you want to get started in playing in professional basketball?
Well, to me, that was super easy because my family, I come from a basketball and a sports family background. And I remember my grandparents took me to my first WNBA game in 1997 in Houston. And I just became the biggest Houston Comets fan. And from there, I knew I wanted to play in the WNBA one day. Like that was my dream. That was my ultimate goal, my ultimate dream to see, women out there doing their thing, winning back to back to back to back championships. Like I wanted that for my life. And I just ever since then I went and went to go get it. So
Of course, as a kid, what was that experience like going to see the Houston Comets and getting to see them win back to back?
I mean that was a dream. Like they were able to win in the beginning of the WNBA the league and to be able to bring the rings that they had, they supplied them to all the fans as well. They were like replica like fake rings, but like I had all four. So for me that was just like experience that I'll never forget. Like I still have Cynthia Cooper's jersey, like I still had a Cheryl Swoops poster. Like they were everything that I wanted to be.
What was that experience like for you going to college and playing for LSU?
My experience was great. I mean, I had some great coaches. I played under some great talent with the Sylvia Fowles and Erica White, and I was able to go to two Final Fours. And I got to play as well under Van Chancellor, which I watched him when I was younger, coaching the Comets. So I think that everything at LSU just prepared me to be a pro, and I had some great years there. Like I did deal with a lot of like injury, like sickness. I which I didn't know until I left because I had a cramping issue my last 2 years of college. But other than that, like my experience was good.
Of course, what was that experience like, as you said, competing for the Final Fours?
I mean, that was crazy coming in as a freshman and making it to my first Final Four. Like we dealt with a lot of things that year in 2020. I mean, 2007, with the whole coaching change and everything like that that was going on. But we prevailed and um, made it to the Final Four, which was in Cleveland, which was in Cleveland this year. So that was just, I don't know. I felt good. My teammates had made it to three previous Final Fours, so they were kind of used to it. But me coming in as a freshman, like I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, Final Four. So it was a great experience.
For you, what was that experience like representing LSU and putting on that purple jersey for them?
I mean, it was everything because once you go to school, your alumni, everything, you just rep the colors, you rep the name on your back, you rep the name on the front. So to this day, like it's forever LSU, and I bleed purple and gold. So
Of course, throughout your college time leading up to before you got drafted, did you already know that you were gonna get drafted? And what was that feeling like when you did get drafted?
I didn't know I was going to get drafted until later on, my senior year. But obviously, for me, it was a dream because from when I was a little girl until my senior year, my whole goal was to make it to the WNBA. And for me to be able to fly to New Jersey and to be on the set of the draft, and to hear my name called, that to me was it was everything. And I had my parents there, and I also had some my uncle and my aunt there to experience it with me. So outfit and all, was feeling good, heard my name called, and that was it.
Of course, what was that feeling like after hearing your name called and going up to see the commissioner and holding a jersey for your future team?
Dream come true. Like you're sitting in those stands, you're nervous, you hear people's name called before you, and you're just waiting for that moment to see which team you're gonna go to, and which team that you're, you know, possibly see a future with. So once I heard my name called, it was like a sign of relief. Um, it was just like a experience of just gratefulness, and walking up there to receive my jersey. Uh, I felt good. I felt really good.
Of course, after the draft, what was that feeling like getting to sign your first professional contract and getting to play with Connecticut Sun?
Again, like I said, it was everything that I wanted when I was a little girl. I made happen. Me signing that contract, me, able to pick my jersey number, me getting to, meet the rest of my teammates, meet the other girls that were drafted in my class. We were all going together. Um, got to sit in the back of the limo and go drive into Connecticut and see the facility and meet the fans and, do all that cool stuff. So, like I said, it was all a dream.
Of course, on your first game day as a rookie, what was that feeling like seeing your jersey hanging in the locker room?
Well, I mean, first you got to make the team. So that right there is pretty cutthroat. Like you have a lot of people competing for positions. And I was able to make the team. First game, you see your jersey hanging up, and like everything that you hope for, you're making it a reality. I got to see my number, everything. So just like a kid in a candy shop, like just like, oh my God, yes, like super excited.
Of course, what was that mama I made it moment like for you once you did make the team and you started playing for the Connecticut Suns?
What was the moment?
Hmm?
Um, the moment of, okay, you've made it. You've made it. Don't stop working hard, continue to get better. Just figure out every way that you can better your game for yourself and also the team. And just be a sponge and take everything in, and learn as much as you can. And I had great mentors and great coaches that just helped me have a good rookie season. I learned a lot from rookie season and just to help me prevail forward.
Of course, for you, what were some of your favorite memories and moments playing for the Connecticut Suns?
Ooh, one of my best moments was when I was a WNBA All Star in 2013 for the Connecticut Sun. And the All Star game was in Connecticut. So that made it even 10 times better just to being on your home court and just to be an All Star in front of all the fans and everything like that. So that was probably my best moment.
Of course, as a player, what was that experience like playing in the WNBA All Star game?
One that you just you see when you're a little girl, and um being an all-star, it took a lot of work. I mean, from 2010 when I drafted, I didn't really play my rookie year, and then my second year I played halfway through the season, and then my third year I was starting, and then my fourth year I'm an all-star. So just to know that where I started and then where I went, I mean, being an all-star is what you dream about when you're a professional athlete.
For you, what was that experience like getting to play with the Connecticut Suns, but then going over to play in the Europe League?
It was definitely different just because obviously culture. culture wise. It's a big adjustment. Like my first 2 years, I played in France, and that was a big adjustment not only to the game but just to like overall living and life there. It was tough. Like when I played in France, it was tough. Like those girls, it's a very fundamental game. It's a very physical game. So you learn the fundamentals. Not only that, you're learning how to be tough. Like they do not call fouls. And the only way that they can guard you is to foul you. So I learned a lot of toughness. The game is definitely kind of slower there, which is a different pace than what I was used to, but it helped me just develop an all around game.
Of course, how is that experience like getting to play with teams like countries wise, like France, versus playing when you were with the Suns playing with regular teams in the league?
Just seeing like the different talents in different countries. Obviously, when you're in the USA, we have the best basketball players in the world, hands down. But when you're over there and overseas, it's a different talent. Like the girls over there can really play. They're smart. They're fundamental. They just do a lot of the little things. Great shooting, great team ball. So you just kind of have to adjust to that, but you learn a lot.
Coming back to the WNBA after your time overseas, what was that experience like getting to sign with the Washington Mystics?
That right there was probably a time that was hard for me because I was coming back from so many injuries and surgeries. So for me to be able to sign with the Washington Mystics, I I was grateful because I feel like I was getting another chance. Before I signed with the Mystics, I had what was it, 3 knee surgeries and a bunch of injections in between that time. So, and they were tough surgeries like microfracture, meniscus. So when I was able to sign to the Mystics, and play for Coach Tebow again, I was extremely grateful. You know, he called me and was like, "Are you ready?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready." So for him to just step out on a limb and give me that chance, I'll forever be grateful for that.
What was that process like for you, as you said, coming off of knee surgeries and stuff, and signing with the Washington Mystics? What was that process like for you?
It was a long, grueling process, honestly, because having those surgeries, I didn't know what kind of player I was going to be. I didn't know if I was even going to be able to play basketball again. Like I was getting different opinions about, hey, your knee is really bad. Like, are you sure you want to play? And I was getting other opinions like, well, I've seen a little bit worse before. So you still have a chance, but we have to do these different things. So it was extremely hard. It was a hard time in my life. I was pretty depressed just because I was coming back from 3 back-to-back-to-back surgeries. But it was a lot of rehab, a lot of training, a lot of, changing my diet, a lot of just doing the little things. I wasn't really a person who traveled back then. I was just really worried about getting myself back to the level that I know I could be at, and that was like my ultimate goal, that I wanted to be able to bounce back from the injury and try to get back in the league.
What was that experience like getting to represent the Washington Mystics and putting on their uniform for them?
It was good because it was a testament to the work that I put in. After all the injuries, I was still going through the injuries when I was with the Mystics, but just to bounce back from all those years, I think I was out maybe 2.5 years before I signed with the Mystics. So that was just a testament of the hard work and what I was putting in day out.
Of course, for you, what has that feeling been like getting to represent two WNBA teams, organizations like the Connecticut Suns and the Washington Mystics?
It was great. I played for the Mystics only half a year. I spent most of my time with the Connecticut Sun. Um, but anytime that you can have a job and play for some of the best organizations, like no complaints.
What are some of the similarities and differences between when you played in the WNBA to now?
Oh, um, coverage. A lot of media coverage. Girls are coming in more with more skills. The 3-point line is no longer the 3-point line. It's like the standard is like half court almost. Like just talent is getting better and better over time. And it's great to see because right now women's basketball is very hot. And I love to see that the game is continuing to grow. I love to see that the WNBA is continuing to grow. And we're going in the right steps forward.
Who are some of the players that you looked up to during your time out playing in the WNBA?
Ooh. One of my mentors was Kara Lawson, which I love to see what she's doing now with Duke women's basketball and where she's taking that program. She was a great mentor. She taught me a lot as a point guard because I was coming into Connecticut, never playing the point guard position, but Coach T, he wanted me to be a point guard. So I had to adjust and try to figure out, okay, how can I be the best point guard? And, Kara Lawson was one of those people who helped me get there. I love watching Maya Moore. I love watching Simone as a LSU alum. Love watching her and playing against them. Angel McCoughtry, Cappy Poindexter, like Diana Taurasi, the list goes on. Who I've had the privilege to guard and kind of learn after.
What was that experience like getting to guard and play it after some of your LSU alumni?
Um, it was good. One of my favorites is Sylvia Fowles. Like she's like the ultimate teammate, the ultimate just like good person. Um, so her and Simone and even Show and Erica White, like um, Maria Ferdinand, all great players from LSU. And I was happy to continue that like legacy of, LSU alum going into the WNBA and playing professional.
What does it mean to you to be a WNBA player?
It means a lot because, like I said, when I was a young girl, when I was about 10, 11 years old, when the WNBA first started, I knew that I wanted to play for the WNBA. So to be able to be a part of, being a player to play for the WNBA it was a great experience for me and it's something that I'll never forget. And if I have kids and if I have a little girl, I hope she can want to play in the WNBA as well. So
What would you tell your younger self that was that fan of the WNBA looking up to the Houston Comets?
what would I tell my just to continue to live in the moment and like, have fun with it. Don't be as serious. You can breathe a little bit and have fun at the same time. Hard work does prevail, but when you have some time, just celebrate your wins and everything that you've accomplished.
As a former WNBA player, what is it like seeing players like Sabrina Ionescu, Breanna Stewart, and even Sue Bird in the WNBA now?
Just everything that they're bringing to the WNBA. I mean, Stewie, she's gonna go down as an all-time great. Sabrina, she's continuing to get better and continue to improve her game, and the things that she's doing has been great as well. And she's also has a signature shoe, like her and Stewie have a signature. Sue Bird, she's a pioneer for the WNBA. Like she's an all-time great, a legend. So they have Stu like kind of like set the standard when I was in the league and even before, and then like to see a Sabrina and Stewie coming up now and continue to do their thing. It's been great to see.
What is it like getting to meet your fans and having them ask for your autographs and photos with you?
I, it was it was everything because when I was in high school, I remember just having a pen and paper and just practicing my signature for days like that when people would come and ask if they could have my autograph or get my picture. So you know, it was a good experience.
Of course, what is that feeling like seeing those fans from Connecticut Suns and Washington Mystics still represent you and wearing your jersey?
It means I left a good impression, a great impact. They thought I was a good person or a player, so I appreciate them. I appreciate all the fans for their support and their continued support.
What has that transition been like from you from going from playing in the WNBA to life after WNBA?
The transition it's been interesting. It's been interesting because I had the privilege to retire and then kind of fall into something and get the opportunity to, you know, see what life is like outside of basketball in a corporate setting. So that's been a good experience for me. But I'm still in the middle of trying to find like what I'm most passionate about and like just going after that.
Of course, what are some of your future plans moving forward?
My future plans, I mean, I would love to start up my foundation soon. Um, just trying to get that together, and I would love to maybe one day work for an NBA team or a WNBA team, and just continue to be around sports. Um, and I don't know, we'll see. We'll see what the future has. We'll see what the future holds for
What
me.
have, what have been some of your fondest memories as a WNBA player?
One, I would say getting drafted. That was a memory that I'll always have. Um, Two, probably being a starter for the Connecticut Sun, just from not playing to being a starter and having impact and, making it to the playoffs. Three, being a WNBA All Star. And I would say four is making my comeback and, playing for the Washington Mystics, given that opportunity and that chance again.
What advice would you give those college athletes out there looking to play on the collegiate level?
My advice would probably just be just to continue to put the work in, continue to, be good people, be good teammates. Just know that somebody is always watching you. Um, and whatever you can do to just better yourself, your career, uh, do that, but just have fun with it.
What advice would you give those future WNBA players out there looking to get started and playing in the WNBA?
You said the future WNBA
Mm-hmm.
players
Mm-hmm.
get started.
Mm-hmm.
Go after what you want. Go after what you want. Put the work in, and go get it.
What advice would you give those WNBA players like yourself that was transitioning from life after basketball?
Network early. Start thinking about ideas of what you want to be and how you see your life, the game of basketball. And just start early. Like I would say that's like the biggest thing. Start networking early, start just trying to figure out, those things that you're passionate about off the court. And just get started with that.
That's great advice. Where can my listeners find you at on social media?
You can find me at alleycat23 underscore on Instagram, and that's pretty much the only place I'm at.
Thank you again, Allison Hightower, for your interview and best luck in your future as you begin this next journey.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. You can find Brandon Sports Talk on Instagram at Brandon Sports Talk, Twitter at Talk_Brandon, and you can find me on YouTube at Brandon Sports Talk. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again, Allison Hightower, for your interview and best luck in your future.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You've been watching Brandon Sports Talk. Please feel free to like, share, and subscribe to Brandon Sports Talk on social media and on YouTube.